Hello, welcome. I missed you guys last week. Last week, I was actually at a business conference in beautiful Florida. It was awesome and amazing. I was just thrilled to be there. It was wonderful. I love going to conferences. It was especially great to be able to go to one live, but it's just energizes me getting to learn from just other people who are just inspirational, which is why I'm actually also hosting a conference, but I'm not going to get too much into that today. I want to get straight into what I'm talking to you guys about. I was inspired myself and I wanted to bring this back to you guys. So welcome and thank you for taking the time to join me. I know your time is valuable, so I will be respectful of that and try to keep this pretty quick, within 20 minutes or so. I will try. I tend to talk a lot, so I will try. For those of you guys just joining me, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the host of the Child Care Business Coach podcast, which I know I keep telling you guys it is coming back. It absolutely is. I do have some recorded sessions. I just got to get them up and going again. Life has been returning a little bit slower for me since the passing of my husband. But I am getting back on track. And I'll tell you, the business conference I went to last week was exactly what I needed to just recharge my batteries and get back in. So I'm also the owner of Child Care Business Professionals, which is a company that helps owners and directors find success running child care centers. But my main focus is always putting the children first. Quality for the children is number one. And yes, you can turn a profit and put the children first. And I'm also a child care center owner myself. So I'm in the trenches with you guys. I'm actually getting ready right now to build 2 centers at once. Yes, I said it. I don't know. Yes, I'm a little bit crazy. I am building 2 at one time. So say hi in the comments. Good morning. I love the interaction. It does get lonely on this side of the camera, so please say hello. Let me know you're there. I can't always see, since I'm using StreamYard. You can give StreamYard permission and it will let me see who you are. Otherwise, I can't always see who you are, but I do see someone's telling me good morning. So good morning to you. Like I was saying, I just got back from Florida and it's snowing here at home. So it was like the welcome home, 85 degrees one day to snow. So, but I love the snow. So I am not complaining. It brings me joy. One of my theories in life is the cold is useless if there is no snow. So I'm good with the snow, but I'm freezing. So I hope the weather is good where you're at and that you're enjoying the day. One thing through this season of my life that I just keep reminding me is life is really what we choose to see and what we choose to make it. And that is something I'm going to talk to you guys about. I did a session. Nicole Walters was one of our keynote speakers at the conference I attended. And if you don't know Nicole Walters, she is an amazing, amazing inspirational speaker. She actually had a very successful high 6-figure Fortune 500 executive job, and she quit live on YouTube in front of 10,000 people. But it really changed her life and lived for the better. And so there was a few takeaways I took from Nicole, and something really struck a chord with me, especially in the season of life I'm in now. And I think it's something that our industry needs to hear. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the lessons I learned from Nicole Walters, but with a little twist, with our childcare as our main focus, and owning centers. If you're an in-home provider, you dream of owning a child care center, or you are a center owner right now, or a director, whatever you are in the center industry, it's going to have a little bit of a twist to what Nicole was talking about. But one of the things that Nicole said during her keynote speech that really struck a chord with me is she stood up there and basically said, are you living your one day? When are you going to live your one day? We go through life always talking about one day I'm going to do this. One day my life will look like that. And she asked us, well, why isn't that one day today? And I have to tell you, I had to really stop and think, because I'm one who, I know that I do have control of my life, and I absolutely have taken life by the reins, and I don't believe that life happens to me. Now, that being said, for those of you who've been following me, you guys know what I'm going through, the season of life I'm in right now. There are some things that are 100% unavoidable. I, of all people, understand that. If you don't know my story, my husband passed away in July. It was my husband of 29 years. So I do know situations like that, life does happen to you, right? I had no control over that. You know, the future I saw, the one day I thought I would have 5, 10, 15 years ago is never going to happen for me. And I do have no control over that, right? So when I say that I know I have control over my life, I understand very well that we never have complete control. That control is kind of an illusion. I would almost say it is kind of an illusion, but I do have control in that I decide where my life goes from here. I decide, am I going to allow what has happened to my family and to me dictate the rest of my life? Am I going to live in sorrow? Am I going to let this tragedy that I've gone through make the rest of my life tragic? Or am I going to live life to the fullest, right? I make that decision. And I've talked to you guys on a previous video how as you guys probably know if you've been following me, I took about 8 weeks off from doing any of my mindset videos, from teaching or anything. And I teach a lot. I do a lot of childcare trainings at least once a week. I'm doing some kind of childcare training. And so I took 8 weeks off, and I had to just kind of sit back. And during that 8 weeks, I was filled with so much gratitude. And I know, and to be honest, I was surprised. I was very surprised myself. I just lost my husband. Yet here I am, and I'm filled with gratitude. And that's when I tell you guys that I do have control over my life. I may not have control over circumstances. I may not have control over what comes at me, but I do have control over how I see things and how I'm going to project my life into the future and how I live every day. And I really realized that even with what I've lost, the memories I have are amazing. What we've built are wonderful. I have 30 years of a wonderful life to celebrate, not to mourn, right? But that is my choice. Am I going to choose to curl up and mourn what I've lost, or am I going to choose to celebrate what I have? So I want you to think about that. And when you wake up in the morning, I know it's a struggle. Being a child care center owner and director is not easy. It is not easy. I know you're going to go in there and there's going to be that employee that gets under your skin. There's going to be that parent that you just dread seeing. But what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on those things that make life hard, that makes it hard to wake up in the morning? Is that the thoughts that you allow to control your mindset? Or are you focusing on those smiles and the hugs of the children and those employees that really do appreciate you and the ones that do love their job? Are you focusing on the parents who pay their bill on time all the time and who really appreciate the work we do and see us as more than some subservient category in their life, right? We choose. In our industry, I talk to so many owners and directors, and I see so many things through the Facebook groups and on Instagram, and there is so much negativity. But that's because we choose to focus on the negativity. Only 20% of what you guys are experiencing, if you really wrote it down, I will challenge you guys, make a list, write down all your families and all of your staff members. And then I want you to make columns on the negatives and the positive ones, right? The ones who don't give you any problems. Even if they're just kind of neutral, they're still positive. And then the ones who do. I am willing to bet that you're not going to have more than 20% of them that is bringing negativity into your life. And honestly, it's probably going to be more like 10% that's actually bringing negativity to you, right? So I challenge you to ask yourself, why am I focusing on that 10 to 20% of the negativity instead of focusing on the 80% good, right? The 80% of the parents who appreciate you, who love you, who are your biggest fans, the 80% of your staff who do their job joyfully. And I have to say, you guys, if you don't have 80% of your staff that does your job joyfully, you do have to look within. That is a leadership problem. That is not a staffing problem. I can tell you from experience, I was there. I was once an owner who walked inside my building and I thought to myself, every single one of these people need to be fired. I did. I walked in one morning, I wrote, I'll never forget, I was so disappointed in my staff. Later that week, we had a staff meeting and I was trying to revive them. So I did a totally different type of staff meeting where I had them each create their own vision for their classrooms. The ideas that came out of those women's minds blew my mind. And I realized that I was the problem. It wasn't them. I was exhibiting poor leadership. So the staff that wasn't living up to my expectations, it was because of me. It wasn't them. So I really, again, challenge you to do some soul searching. When you dream of one day, I'm going to have this amazing center. One day, my center isn't going to be filled with negativity. One day, I am going to turn a profit. One day, I challenge you to make that one day today. Why does that have to be in the future? Why not start today, right? And yes, you can. I know what you're thinking. I can't, I don't have the resources. I don't, right? But you do. And if you don't know where to start, message me. That is exactly what my company does. I help you find the way, right? I help you as long as you do the work, I have to say. When you do the work of the courses I've created, the coaching that I put you through, I'm available to my members every month. You can schedule a time to talk to me. I also have open office hours. So for example, one of the things I do for my members, about an hour and 10 minutes from now, I'm going to be live on Zoom and any of my members can jump on, pick my brain. We work through problems together. We do whatever. Every week I'm available, right? So when you're dreaming about your one day, the center you dream of having, why not take action today to make that happen? If you keep doing what you're doing now, it's never going to change, right? You need to take action in order to make your someday happen today. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you start taking action now, it will happen eventually. Eventually, you can change and have that dream center. I have so many owners asking me all the time, how do you do it? I work at my center maybe 10 to 20 hours a week, and that's honestly because I choose to. The 8 weeks I took off, I didn't go to my center at all. I didn't work at all at my childcare center as an owner. My staff is amazing. I have an amazing staff, but that took work on my part. It did not happen overnight. I did the work to get there. I can tell you guys, 10 years ago, my center could not have survived without me. Even 8 years ago, my center could not have survived without me because of my poor leadership, not because of my staff. A lot of the same women that I thought needed to be fired back then are the same people. Over half of them are the same people that work for me today. It was my leadership that was holding my staff back. It wasn't them. I needed to up level. I needed to make my someday happen today. I talk so much about vision because vision is so very important. So when I started this journey into learning how to be a good business owner, I realized I wasn't a good owner at one point. I realized I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about leadership. I wasn't a good manager or owner. I managed, I did, but I did not lead my team, right? And so I decided if I'm going to be able to stay a child care center owner, I got to learn how to do this. And when I went through this journey, I realized that so much of it has to be coming from me, right? Not from them. and they are going to follow my lead. The turnover, so many things that you guys struggle with, your staff's performance, them not meeting your expectations, them not doing their jobs, that is coming from you. It's not coming from them. And I know what you're thinking. I can't afford to hire better. That's not true. It is not true. People will rise when you give them more, right? And so again, when I started this journey and I wrote out my vision, I took a class. I actually had a business coach myself. I will always invest in business coaching because that was the absolute game changer for me. It is what changed my life, my business, which trickles down to your personal life. When your center is not so stressful, it's going well, it does help your home life as well. So my business coach told me to create my vision, which I did. And she basically said to me, just do your ideal. So I started thinking like, what is this vision stuff, right? And I started listening to podcasts on vision, reading books on vision, and I just engrossed myself in the world of your vision, mission, philosophy, and all of that so I could create mine for my center. The most influential thing, and I honestly cannot even remember who said it, but I heard was, if you had a magic wand, what would your business look like tomorrow? So I did. I took out a piece of paper and wrote down, if I had a magic wand, what would Zoo and Around look like? And I basically created that as, this is my vision for my center, right? At that time, I thought it was a unicorn. I thought the vision I created was impossible. I was looking at it like, yeah, right, this could never happen. I was still a cynical owner who didn't really believe in the fact that I can make my someday or my one day happen. And so as I looked at it, I just realized that, well, this is good and I'll work towards it, but it's probably not really going to happen. It's not reality. I ended up finding that paper I wrote, right? And it was just in my handwriting. It was informal. About 5 years later, I was going through some old notebooks and I found it. And I read through it. And I was amazed to see that the center that I was now in exactly fit the vision I had written 5 years. And when I do the vision work, I get very, very descriptive. I will, and if you're my client, I tell you also, when we create your vision, I want you to smell, like envision you're walking through your center. When you open your door, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? And then I have you walk room by room in your mind and write down everything you hear, see, smell. And then we figure out the business part of it, right? But I read that paper of this graphic vision I had for my center, and it's very detailed. It goes into the accounting that, no more than 5% of my clients are behind on bills. The behavior problems are eliminated. My teachers know how to handle challenging behavior. Our curriculum is developmentally appropriate and really focused on neurological development. So, I get detailed. And I just remember finding that 5 years later and looking at it and just thinking, oh my gosh, we made our unicorn come true. And I really have to stress to you guys that I have to say we, because you and I, as center owners, we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. It takes a team to make that unicorn come true, right? But it takes you as a leader to develop that team who buys in, has the same goals, and believes in your company. It takes authenticity. It takes that drive and you just really being real. And that's it. So many times as leaders, we think we have to play this part, right? And we have to be somebody that we're not. When in reality, what our staff really wants is that authenticity. They want to know your heart. And hopefully, we work with children, so I really hope that all of your hearts are really in it for the children and not the money. Because I can tell you, if you want to be successful and make a living off of childcare, the children have to come first. And most of us do. I don't meet very many owners at all who didn't get into this, who get into it for the money. And I can tell you, before one of the things I was doing for a while is I was buying centers going bankrupt and turning them into successful centers, which is my center now, right? And every time I have purchased a center from somebody who was going bankrupt, it's because they thought they could make a lot of money off of childcare and they weren't in it for the children. They didn't put the children first. So as a business coach, a childcare business coach, I won't take a client who's in it for the money. And let me clarify here. There is nothing wrong with you making money on your childcare centers. As owners, we work hard and we deserve to make money. There is nothing wrong. So take that fallacy out of your mind. If you're a director, if you're a teacher listening to this, stop thinking that your owners should not be making money. They are putting a lot of risk for you to have a job, right? They did work that you have no idea they did before you even worked for them. What it takes to own a center is huge. It is not a small feat, right? And they deserve to make money for it. Even if, like me, I'm, 15 years later, and I don't work at my center so much, but what I put in and what I still have to give to that center is still worth making an income off of, right? So I do have to clarify, there is nothing wrong with making money. Okay, so if you're an owner and you feel guilty for making money, or if you feel like you have to be the owner and director in order to justify making money, I did a video a few months ago on money mindset that you should watch because you have a terrible money mindset, right? Our mindset on money a lot of times is wrong. So I'm going to clarify when I say that the children, there is nothing wrong with getting into business to make money. It is the reason we become owners. But society tells us, oh my gosh, you're in a childcare center, you shouldn't get to make money. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. You put all the risk. You put everything up front. You are the one who had the courage to actually try and open a center, right? Where so many people don't have that courage. So yes, you do deserve to make money, but money cannot come before the children. It can't be your motivating factor first and foremost, right? And that is where I've had a problem with owners who I can't help. I've helped a lot of owners become successful, but when the money is their main focus and that is their drive and their vision is entailed in money and not what's best for the children, that's right. I won't even bother working with you, to be honest with you, because the kids have to come first. I am not the business coach for somebody looking to make money off of children first and not caring about quality. That's why I always talk about quality first. And that's why my mission is to make sure all children have the opportunity to go to a high quality childcare center regardless of their income, because the children have to come first and quality is the number one most important thing for the children. And I can guarantee you when you put the children first and you really prioritize their well-being, the money will follow. It really will. Let me see some of your guys' comments here. Suzanne, oh, good morning, Suzanne. Oh, hi, Kim, you're on. Good morning. Let's see. Mindset is key. Absolutely. So let me tell you for my members, and I didn't mean, but I'm going to let you guys know anyway. I am starting a series since I'm building 2 centers at once, which I know is crazy. I am in the middle of training 4 of my own internal managers, right? I'm going to need 2 directors and 2 assistant directors. So I'm actually going to need 3 because I'm making my director my regional manager. And so I'm going to actually Zoom Around is actually also going to have a new director. So I'm actually going to need 3 sets of managers. So I am starting a leadership training series with my managers that is going to be recorded and live for all of my members. So if you are one of my members, this is something you want to do. I don't care if you're an in-home, if you are a center owner director, just a director. I am teaching my directors basically how to be directors. And my new ones that are coming up, they are going to go through my training before we open the other centers so that I know that everything will just happen seamlessly. So this is something that is available to all my members. I will be recording the sessions I do. So you guys are going to get training like I train my own team, literally exact training. As I'm training my team, I will be filming it and you guys will be able to participate live as I'm training my own team who will be leading my own childcare centers. Mindset is a huge focus. It is the first thing that I will train them on, how to think like a leader, right? It's the number one most important thing. And then we get into the tactical. The tactical is important, but if you don't have that mindset right, if you don't understand how you need to think as a leader or somebody running any kind of business, right, you're not going to make it. Mindset is key. Understanding how your brain really needs to work in terms of running a childcare center. If you're afraid to fire employees, if you have a hard time with that, or if you're afraid to ask for your money when parents don't pay, if you're afraid to let a child go because the accounts aren't going okay, if you're afraid to reprimand, write up an employee, if you have no policies and procedures, or you're afraid to follow your procedures, if you have call-in issues, your employees are just calling in out of control, that is a mindset problem. You have issues with mindset. So be sure to join me if you guys want more information. My assistant Pam or I can get that for you and let you know what we can do to help you learn how to get to that next level. That way you can make your someday happen today. One last thing I also want to go over with you guys too is my conference is coming. Conferences, you guys, they are game changers. The conference I just went to is actually called the Game Changer Conference, and it really is. I left just so inspired, and after what been going through, I needed that. I needed the inspiration. I felt like I was just going through the motions, and even though I've gotten to one of my 1 days, I still have more 1 days I need to get to. So that's why Nicole Walters really resonated with me. It's time for me to really start getting to my 1 day. So if you're ready to get to your 1 day, join us for our conference. It is live, and it is also going to be streaming online. We have a hybrid version. So if you haven't signed up yet, please sign up. I am only allowing a limited amount of space. For our live, I think we only have about 6 spaces left. We would love to have you guys live. I'll tell you, I am so happy. I really debated over whether I was going to do the hybrid of the Game Changer event I just went to, or if I was going to go live. And I am so, so, so happy. I invested in myself, and I flew to Florida to be there live. The experience is so different, and it was worth every dime I paid. And I had to have a talk with myself and tell myself, I'm worth it. I am worth investing in, and you are too. I know it gets scary to spend the money on going to a live event or even purchasing a virtual conference, right? But you are worth the investment. If you want your 1 day to happen now, make the investment. It is worth it, you guys. I have Beth Cannon, Scott Wayman, Prana Richards, Christine Mailer. I have John Wooten, which you guys probably don't know, but he is a lawyer coming to speak to us. Tracy Gale, she's a tax expert and an insurance expert for childcare industry. I have a lot of amazing people coming who it can be a game changer for your business. So make sure to let us know if that's something you're interested in. Again, we do have a virtual track. We know with COVID, it's hard to travel, but make sure you get signed up ASAP. So I hope everybody has a great week, and feel free to message me or write in the comments if you guys need any more information. Have a wonderful week, everybody.